Mhm.
Hello, hello, welcome. It's Amy from Seriously Sweet and Cookie Snack Attack. We have a very special guest with us tonight. She's another CookieCon favorite in the instructor lineup. Sue Backman is here, and she is going to teach us a wonderful solid cookie stained glass painting technique. Hey, Sue, how are you?
Good. How is everybody tonight?
I hope everyone is well. It's been a busy day, hasn't it? So
Yes,
let
it
me
has.
say we had an Amy moment. As I told you earlier before we went on live, Sue, I did update the video. I added your photo. I stretched out the music, but I forgot to upload it to StreamYard. So I'll play it at the end and then close the video down. That way everybody can see everything because there's like 15 seconds of non-spooky Halloween music and I want you to have the full effect, okay?
Oh, I enjoyed it. That was some great music, and looking at all those different cookies. Oh my goodness, you
Isn't
guys
that
are
amazing?
real rotten with all these tutorials.
So I'm curious, did you recognize names from the lineup as being students from CookieCon? Did you recognize a bunch of people?
Some,
Some?
yes. So I'll tell you right now, my name game is not great. Names of faces, I can recognize a face faster than I can recognize a name.
And a voice. I used to be a call center operator, so voices I'm very good with.
Yeah.
So let me check on one thing really quickly. And oh, we're good. Okay, so Sue, people have been doing giveaways, and you shared with me a few moments ago that you would like to do one tonight. Would you like to tell the folks about that?
Yes, my husband made these lovely, lovely 3D printed. They're larger than the genie ones, so these work great for large cookies. And I like to give away one to a lucky person tonight that is watching me. So,
Ooh.
yeah.
So let's lay down a few ground rules so that no one is disappointed later.
Okay.
It's going to be a question. The question we're going to ask you is going to be from something Sue says at the beginning of the video, but we're not going to ask the question until the end of the video. And at the end of the video, we'll tell you who the winner is, and that way you can connect with Sue. She'll ship to you. But the guess is going to be something numerical, and it's going to be the closest without going over. So how's that for info? Is that good? We'll do the same thing we've been doing. Thank you so much to everyone who is jumping on and saying hello. And no, your name is not showing, whoever that is. If you're watching from Cookie Snack Attack, you're going to have to go out, go over to Seriously Sweet, give StreamYard permission because it won't give permission from the private group, and then we'll be able to see your name. And they did do an update, but it looks like everybody that I could see earlier today, I can see right now. So I think we're okay. So Sue, huge thank you for coming on board and joining in this event because everyone was so excited to do something and to just give back into the cookie community. And I just want you to know, I personally really appreciate you. I loved your classes at CookieCon, and I know the ladies in the group really appreciate you as well.
Thank you for having me. This is such a great honor, and I just love this. This is going to be fun.
This technology seems okay, right? So we could do some more even after the Christmas thing. Anytime you feel like coming on and visiting.
Oh yeah. And I have ideas for the Christmas one. So
okay.
I'll face with you to see what you think.
Okay, so let's talk about that too. We'll get that out of the way really quickly.
Okay.
Oh, and Sue, I forgot to ask you, is this your full-time hustle?
It is a part-time hustle. I'm a full-time mom.
So, I know. Tell them how many kids you have and how many and what the ages are, because I was just like, how do you do all these things?
Oh gosh, I got 3 boys, and they range from 6. My oldest is 16, middle child 14, and my youngest is 8 years old. So I have 2 in high school, 1 in elementary. So and then taking care of them, taking care of the house, taking care of husband, but this is a full-time hustle.
Yes,
I'm a full-time mom.
Full-time mom. That's great. And by the way, don't tell him, but your little 8-year-old is as cute as he can be. I would just snap him up. He's adorable. But don't tell him because I think he already knows it.
Yes, he does. He's a ham. That's why his name Sammy the Hammy, because he's a.
Oh, is that what you call him? Oh, that's so cute. Okay, well, I'll try that. That'll probably stick. So, did you always, but have you always, I feel like you've done more than just cookies. You didn't start out in cookies. Your story is earlier than that.
Nope. I started off doing cakes. So, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people started off this way, that your first child, you want to do something nice for them. You don't want to pay a whole lot for a cake, and you're like, I can do it myself. So that's where I started off. Started off with doing cakes, and then got into doing cookies. So let's see. I've been doing this since like 2010.
Oh, wow.
So,
Okay. All right. Fantastic. So you've got a long time in this. And do
yeah.
you love it as much now as when you started?
I do. I do. I did give up cakes though, because it started to get to be a little bit too much with doing the cakes and the cookies together.
Yes. Yes.
So one had to go, and I like
Yes.
cookies more. So
I love cookies so much more. I love it
yes.
so much more. We started out with sweet treats. I don't know if anybody knows this or not, but our first stores where we had sweets, we had retail stores, and we've had them in 3 different states. We started out doing fudge and pralines.
Ooh.
And then making all kinds of candies. And then the candies turned into cupcakes, and the cupcakes turned over to cakes, and the cakes turned over to cookies. And all the things just kept getting added to the lineup until we had a 4,500 square foot dessert cafe in Florida. And then we were both about to die. We were working so many hours. It was so rough. So loved it. I've loved the journey. I loved all the things we've done, but now I am focusing more. Gotcha, Angie. We're focusing more on the things that really like to do. And I love cookie art, like obsessed with cookie art. And
Yes.
I feel a very kindred spirit with you, because I know that you like to do the mad scientist too. So if there's an experiment night where you'd like to come on any Monday, because it doesn't affect anything, once this event's over and Christmas is over, any Monday where you want to come on and do a mad scientist experiment, or we can experiment side by side, I'm all in.
Ooh.
You just let me know if something fun comes up.
Yeah. I got some ideas. I want to try out some stuff. So definitely let's
Okay.
like lab suits.
Oh yes, I actually have a doctor's coat and the big glasses, and one of those like those big plastic like glasses, and the beakers and the big gloves. I have all of that if you want to get really wild.
I'll have to get me some beakers and some goggles then.
I'm gonna have to find it. It's in my Sunday school kit, but yes, 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 I'm all about that.
Now, look at the little man. Get
and
out
you. Hi, Sammy.
Bye.
So I did want to make sure everyone knew this. Sue will be back with us on Friday, December 8th. We will be doing a holiday themed stained glass cookie. Okay. Oh, hold on. I don't want to disappoint anyone. And Kelly made me these awesome headbands. So I'll put my bat headband on tonight, but I have it on blur because there's stuff in the background. So I'll try to sit just right so you can see it. Can you see it?
Oh, they're fabulous. I love them.
Kelly made all these awesome headbands. Oh, all right. Thank you for the reminder. You guys, don't let me forget these, because Kelly worked hard on these and I really appreciate them, Kelly.
I should have got my witch's hat.
Oh, do you have one close by? Do you want to grab it?
No.
All right.
Well, in my room in the closet, stuffed away somewhere. So I don't.
No, not tonight then. Not tonight.
So.
All right. Well, if you're good to go, let's go ahead and get you switched over to your other camera. Oh, tell them what state you live in too. Aren't you in Tennessee?
I am. I'm in Middle Tennessee. So everybody who's from Tennessee, give you a shout out to the Tennessee peeps on here.
Hey, hello. There are some Tennessee people. I saw them flipping down through there. They didn't say where they're from, but I know where they live. And is anyone watching from Southern California? Phyllis is on with us now, but is anybody else watching? Mimi's on from California, but I don't know if Mimi's Southern or mid. All right, but listen, you guys, we're going to switch over. We're going to get the demo started. Let her get rolling. If you have questions, I'm going to pull my picture out of the feed and I will feed Sue the questions while she's working. And I think for whatever reason, however you're hooked up, I think we're in real time. I don't think we have the lag that we had in a couple other videos.
I don't think so. I think we're good to go. I think we're right on.
I'll just say we have a question and then wait till you're done with what you're on, and then I'll read you the question and then we'll keep going. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. And Mimi is in Southern California. Hey, Dee Dee, how are you doing tonight? And you guys, please take a minute, share the stream. The artists are doing all of this totally for free. They all wanted to give back to the cookie community, but I want to make sure we take care of them by getting their social media out there. So Sue, before we switch, because I forgot, where can they follow you? Are you more Facebook or Instagram?
I'm on both Facebook
Okay.
and Instagram. At Sugarloos on Instagram, and I had Facebook is facebook.com/Sugarloo3.
Okay.
Sugarloos for whatever reason it's like.
After this is all over, will you go to the Seriously Sweet page and put your info in the comments? Okay, and that way you guys will see it there. And she's also going to highlight, just tell you what product she's using tonight, and if you can use something different. So if you have questions on that, it's totally okay to ask on that as well. And I'm gonna switch you. Or do you want to switch first, or do you want me to move my camera?
Everybody can hear me okay?
Yeah, you sound great.
Awesome. All right, I'm gonna switch over so you guys can see what we're gonna do.
All right, perfect. Okay, here we go, guys. So can you hear me, Sue?
I can hear you just fine. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. It's all yours, and I'll feed you questions.
Okay. Well, tonight we're going to be doing the stained glass. So, and I have a template that will be, I think Amy should be able to put that up and share with everybody. The template that goes for this cookie tonight.
Okay, so she's giving you the template to do this design, and I'm going to load it in the files of the Cookie Snack Attack group, the private group. We're going to load that when she's done tonight.
Okay. So as far as the stained glass, it's a very simple cookie. You can use this for any design set. So if you wanted to do so like a centerpiece, or if you wanted to do something as far as like Easter or Christmas, now Halloween, there's so many different ways you can use the stained glass technique. But what we're going to do tonight is that pumpkin I just showed you. So to get started, what you want to do, you need to flood and bake your cookie and flood the cookie. So you're going to start with a plain slate.
Can I ask one quick question, because it's going to come up? We might as well do it right now. Do you feel like there is any difference if you flood an outline in royal or a hybrid or in glaze? Can you do this technique on all of those as long as they're properly set up?
I prefer to do this without the corn. So the hybrid has that corn syrup in it.
Yes.
I like to leave that out just because it's not, because the corn syrup makes it soft, and you want something that's going to firm up and not be so porous. Because when you go to stencil on here, if the cookie's still soft in any way, shape, or form, depending on which way you stencil onto the cookie, it'll poke holes.
Okay, great. Okay, so glazers, this is probably not something that you want to do on a glazed cookie, because that's all corn syrup. But Sue, I have a question. What would happen if they sealed their glaze icing with PME spray and then piped their outline and did their
I don't know.
Oh, I see mad scientist coming.
That would be a mad scientist sketch. Yes. Because I don't know. I would think the PME would help set it up that you would be able to go back over.
Okay.
And I don't know if I would trace with a pencil and marker. I think for that, if you wanted to do the glaze technique, that would probably be more something you would have to use a projector to project your image onto the cookie. So that way you're not having to put pressure on the ice itself.
There's a lot of glazers in this group. So maybe we'll do that one night. And by the way, I'm so excited about what's on the screen right now.
So what I did, I kind of went a little off task here, because normally I just do a flat cookie. But you do want to have a nice smooth base to start off with, something that's hardened and ready to go, preferably dried overnight, nothing that's dried like, 8 hours or anything like that, because depending on what kind of tracing technique you want to use on your cookie, you can use the tracing technique that goes with the tissue paper, where you're tracing with a pencil and then going back over with an edible marker, or you can use the Pico or projector to directly put your image onto the cookie itself. So just to give you an idea, Sammy, I'm gonna get you, buddy. So this is the image that I printed off and then just went over with tissue paper. Now this tissue paper is just any old tissue paper you can grab from Hallmark. You can get it off Amazon. It's great for tracing your outline with pencil. And then you're going to take your transfer from tracing. I use some masking tape to kind of hold it down there. And you're basically going to take your image and you're going to trace it with the edible food marker. These are Cookie Countess ones. You can get these anywhere, Amazon or anything like that, or even Hobby Lobby to get edible marker. And we're going to trace it back over. But what I did, because I wanted to see if embossing actually shows up behind stained glass.
I love it. I love it.
So if you have an embosser, you can take sections. Now we'll say, this is my first time doing this. It does leave little ridges and edges. So if you can see that on the big cookie itself, where you got the still square, but the way the icing or the gel sets in, it kind of highlights your the embossed part. So this spider webs kind of show up a little bit more.
I was so excited when you sent the final picture of the cookie because I could see that. And I was like, how on earth did she add another level to this cookie?
Well, I was going to add more, but this is one I want to show you, the one I was trying to do. This is the kitty cat one.
Oh, wow. I can see the spider web in that too.
It after sitting for about 12 hours, the gel itself settled in, and then it accented the spider web in the cat more than what it did before.
So cute.
But it's just something to show you that you can actually add dimension to your sugar cookie when you're doing stained glass. So you can draw behind it with an edible marker, kind of like here, because anything you put down on the white part is going to show through.
Gotcha.
So if you wanted to do the embossing, or if you wanted to draw lines for your leaves, that will all show up behind your stained glass.
That's so cool. I love that you're still going on with the art. It's like a whole nother level in the cookie toolbox.
Isn't it? I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So what I'm using here is just a pan. This is a dollar store pan, and you can use different ways to put your stencil down onto the cookie itself. You can use masking tape, clips, magnets. I mean, these are just like things that you can pick up at Amazon or even Walmart just to kind of clip onto the tray.
Oh, okay.
If you got a bigger hold it down.
They're asking how big that is. Is that 6 or 7 or 8 inches? It's a big cookie, right?
It's a 6-inch cookie. This is nowhere near as big as a cookie that I did for Cookie Kong. Cookie Kong cookie was like a 9-inch, 10-inch cookie. It was huge. Okay. But the tracing technique itself, what you want to do is you're going to take your edible marker. So you're going to trace over. Let me make sure that I'm getting a piece of paper. Make sure this is secured down.
I just love this. And I love that you're showing them how to do something without a $200.
Yeah, so if you don't have a projector, this would be the way to go. To trace it with pencil first over with your tissue paper. And I have the pencil side up, so the pencil's not touching the cookie. Okay. And I'm going back with my edible marker. Now it's going to take you a couple passes. So it's not going to be like you go over once and it'll go through, but it's not going to go all the way through.
Okay.
It's going to go through enough that once you take this sheet off, that it'll leave a line for you, like a guideline.
Okay.
Right.
I know that you said you can use any tissue paper. Do you find really that any kind is better than another? Like if you use uncoated or the kind that's not slick on either side, or one side slick?
I've used the cheap stuff from dollar store before.
Oh, okay.
It works perfectly fine.
Yeah,
the stuff that I have here, I got off Amazon, and it was not, I mean, it wasn't like terribly expensive. It was maybe like, I want to say like $5 maybe for a pack, but it came like 200 sheets. Okay.
I was going to say, I liked the cheap stuff at the dollar store because it went through it really easy.
Right. And it was just fine.
And Maxine is watching. She's asking if you could use the Eddie to do the outline onto the cookies.
You could, if you have a small enough cookie, because I think Eddie only goes up to about maybe 4 3/4 for a size of a cookie. But yes, you could use that for the outline, to do it like a light gray outline and then go back with your piping.
Okay. So do you have an Eddie that was a really specific dimension to know?
I do.
Okay.
I do have an Eddie.
And do you have that new sassy tray?
I do.
All right. All right. Do you like it?
I do. I love it.
Okay.
It's fantastic. I love playing with it, and it's so much fun. But I got him, gosh, I had him for almost a whole entire year before I decided I was gonna just do it and just take the order and do it.
Oh, that's awesome.
I was really, really scared to work with it. I was just like, oh, I'm gonna mess it up.
So
yeah,
Julie,
I will say, since the embossing part, there's more bumps and ridges, and it's not as smooth as the rest of the cookie, so it's going to be a little bumpy when you go to trace.
Okay. Julie just got her Eddie recently, and when she first got it, she's married, of course, a long-term marriage, and she said something to me one day. She said she was going to go see her boyfriend, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute, what's going on? And she said, yes, his name's Eduardo. And I was like, oh, you got an Eddie. That's so cool.
I love Eddie. He's a fantastic tool in the cookie tool kit.
Yes, absolutely. I think we should stop saying toolbox and say tool trunk, because I mean, we're really filling it up this year.
Oh, mine's going to be a van before I know it's going to be a station wagon.
Yes, that's right. Let's get an old VW bus van.
All right, I'm just going to go over a couple more sections here. I'm not going to do the whole entire thing. I just want to give you the idea of.
And it doesn't seem like you're pressing very hard. It just seems like you're going over multiple times. It looks like you're just getting a line that's going to be covered nice with the piping.
It's harder over the parts where I did the embossing.
Okay.
But it's pretty easy going over the smooth parts. Okay. And you do want to go at least 2 or 3 times over with an edible marker, just so you get a good transfer of the marker itself onto the cookie.
Okay. This is just so neat. And Sally Newton says she's totally smitten by this technique.
Yeah, there's other ways to do this. I mean, you can do it with the pencil and the edible marker. I've seen where you trace it and you flip it over, and you can do a very, very thin layer of chocolate on the back and then trace that onto the cookie. So you have a chocolate transfer.
I've seen that too.
Or you can just get a Pico or projector or whatever. I don't even know what the new projectors are now. I'm so stuck on my Pico. I love my Pico.
Do you know which kind you have? Do you have the Axiom or?
I don't know. It's the little white box. It's like when people
before
cookies, like before it blew up to be like what it is now.
Yeah. And the white cube.
Yeah, the white cube.
That's awesome. Allison, why can't I see your comments? I can see that you commented 3 minutes ago, but I don't see it flowing through.
So let me pull this up, see what we got. So I don't know if you can see. Let's see if we can zoom in here.
Hey, Allison, if you can hear me, switch over to the Seriously Sweet page. Oh, I can see it. So
you just want a very faint line that you're going to trace over with your piping. So got it still in place, and I have a little little like mesh. You put this in your cabinets to keep the plates from rolling around. It's the one you're protecting. You put that on the bottom to keep the cookie from moving around.
Okay.
I will say though, it's like you do want to have your paper in place and try to get as close as possible, because if you go back over and trace, then you're going to get more black lines.
Right.
And those black lines will show when you start putting the gel in the cookie.
Gotcha.
Yep. But
see if I can. Can you hear the train? I have a train near my house. It's so loud tonight.
All right. I'm going to give it a go. So I will say, once you got your image piped onto your cookie, you want a piping black. Now you can either do tipless. I do hear that train. If you're comfortable with tipless, you can do the PME. I think it's a EPCO number 2 tip.
Okay.
Over the bag.
To make like a sleeve.
Yes, you can make a sleeve. So what I did in class is, if I can find I had a little piece of nylon, and I don't know where it went.
Ooh.
No, other one.
I heard about the nylon.
Yes. So what you would do, and I had it here purposely, and I don't know where it went. But if you're going to use the tip, you're going to push your coupler down all the way. And then I take my scissors and I cut right along the edge.
Mm-hmm.
Pull that off. Put my tip on. And oops, this is where the nylon would come in place.
Okay, and may I ask a question? Two questions, actually. Allison would like to know if you mentioned where you get your images from, and said she was late because she was locating a blind horse in a field without light.
Oh, that sounds very difficult.
Well, that horse likes to give her a hard time. He's something else.
The images I get, I find them online. I'll use clip art, or I'll draw something. Some of the images I find from coloring books. This pumpkin itself came from Etsy. I bought like 12 different designs.
Okay.
Trying to decide which one I wanted. So I just bought all 12 of them, and then use this one. So I figured I might use the other ones for something else. It was relatively cheap. I think I paid like $2 for all 12 of them.
Oh, that's great. And I feel like Allison took a class from you this last Cookie Con. I don't remember which one of your pieces she did though. And then our next question is from Carrie Myers, and she's saying, couldn't you just flip the edible side onto the cookie and impress it on the cookie to get clear definition? I'm not sure what you mean, Carrie. Do you mean like after she does the tracing? I'm not sure what that means.
Sure.
More detail, Carrie, and then we'll help you. And Allison, yes, she took your sea turtle class.
Oh, hey, Allison, how are you doing?
That was a beautiful, beautiful cookie.
Oh, they did fantastic with that sea turtle. They blew me away. I was just like, these came out better than mine. All right, so I'm cutting up a piece of nylon, and these nylon, again, dollar store's your friend.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do with the nylon is put it right over. It's just a 1-inch square.
Okay.
Put it right over before you put it over the coupler. Stretch it over before you put the tip on, and then secure that in.
And this is going to help us get good, clean lines for our outline, correct?
Yes. Yes. Okay. So what the nylon that acts like a mesh, so that way when you push through the tip itself, that it doesn't curl up on itself. Because I don't like this. Is why I don't like these finer chips, because if you try to push your icing through, you're swearing like a sailor, and your icing either breaks or it curls up, and it never wants to play nice.
Okay. And Carrie has clarified that she is asking about, could you just trace it, flip it over, and then rub it on the cookie, I think. You ever tried that?
The pencil?
No, with the marker. Once you've done the marker on the tissue, can you just flip it over? And then would it still be wet enough?
I have not tried it, but I don't think it would. It may leave a little bit, but it's not going to leave as much as if you keep going over with it.
Gotcha. Okay. And then Allison said she's fumbling through the field at night, doing great. And her dogs love the sea turtle. Should I tell you that? I don't know, but they steal her cookies all the time. So she's going to do another one.
They ate the sea turtle?
Oh, yeah. They steal cookies. No matter. She has some very well-trained scent dogs. They're trained for that. And I don't care where she hides cookies in the house when she's working on competition pieces and stuff. There's one of those dogs that she probably could go on the roof of the 2-story house to get it. She's that determined.
Wow.
And Barbie would like to know if you could just say again what size tip you're using. I think you said a 2, but I'm not sure.
It is a number 2 tip.
Okay,
number 2 tip. I got it from Etco. This you can buy on Amazon. Trying to think of the place where I bought it from. Country Kitchen Sugar Art, I think is where I got this one from. Okay. So
Carrie says thank you.
You're very welcome.
And Maxine says it would be opposite if you flip it. She doesn't think it would work to mirror it. I don't think it would either if you're drawing on the cookie the first time, but I think what she was asking is, could you just have the paper sitting there, trace it, and then flip the top side down and rub it? I think that's what she was actually asking. But the cookie's really big, and I did something like that on a 4-inch cookie when I was mad scientisting, and it was too dry. It was too dry to transfer.
Yeah. So I guess the important thing is when you're putting your transfer on the cookies, make sure that it's in the direction you want it to go before you put your transfer down.
Gotcha. Christina is saying that Allison's dog sounds like an outside dog. She'd be so mad if they ate her cookie. All right. Well, they're never going to be outside dogs because they're highly trained. They have their own room at Allison's house. It's called the whole house.
I had puppies before. I don't have pets anymore. But I'm using a piping texture. I can't even talk tonight. It's a piping consistency. Thank you. That we're using. And I always outline the outside first. Put that in the center there so you can see before going in and doing all the little lines on the inside.
I'm so excited to see that spider web pop when you start adding the color.
It's pretty cool. And no, don't judge me on my piping.
No judgment. Thank you for teaching us. Hi, Jessica Lynn. I'm glad you could join us.
Now, I do have a border for the cookie itself. It's I think I made it a little bit too big when I made my image for the size of the cookie.
Okay.
So I'm doing it without the border.
Now, I did go ahead and upload the template that you gave me. And I believe that with the file extension that it was on, it just uploaded as a photograph.
Okay.
Instead of a file. So guys, you'll have to take it into whatever program you use to resize things, and then you can resize it for whatever size cookie you want to do. And Jessica is traveling right now, but she jumped on to see you, so she stopped in here.
Well, hello, Jessica. So I'm not going to trace all the way.
Okay.
The painting part is going to take a little bit for that.
Okay. How long do you have to let it dry?
You do want this to be fully dry before you start putting your gels in. One, it'll eat your icing if you start trying to paint. And two, you want to make sure that your lines are completely down and touching your cookie. No gaps underneath.
Oh, so nothing will spread underneath.
That's right. Then you'll get bleeding of the colors.
All right. Mimi says, sorry if this was asked already. For those of us who make silkscreen stencils, could we swipe icing using the line work and then pipe it to outline with piping icing?
You could.
Okay.
Absolutely could.
And how big is that stencil holder you're giving away tonight?
Oh,
is that a 5-inch, a 4-inch, a 6-inch?
I want to say it's a little bit bigger than because can you give me a ruler? No, that's a bag. You just walked right by the ruler, honey. It's right in the basket. Oh, thank you. This is, it's 6 inches across. So it's a 6x6.
All right, maybe we're going to hope you win that. Then you can make some really big stencils and do really big cookies with this.
So, but I'm going to stop here so I can start showing you guys the, yeah, we're going to move on. But you basically want a piping consistency, and you want to do the outer edge first before when you're laying down your piping, and then make sure that your icing is absolutely, you know, completely touching the cookie. And
okay, and no gaps, guys. And you don't have to double stack the lines, right? Just one line.
Nope. So you just want to make sure that you're going in one line and that it's one fluid line and that you're not going back. So you should end up with something that looks like this once you're done piping.
Oh, wow, Sue. Look at that magical pumpkin you just dropped in there.
We have a little guy on the side too.
Oh, so cute.
So now, as far as the painting part of it, so we traced, we transferred, we piped. Now we have a fully dry cookie that has our embossed background. And I'm going to be using just a simple, very simple paint palette. These come a dime a dozen off Amazon. So the mixture that we're going to be using tonight for painting, you want to make sure that you have your toothpicks for mixing your colors, set of paintbrushes, and I think I have an extra set of these that I might just have to send with that stencil holder to whoever gets,
oh my goodness,
gets the answer correct.
Your prize package just got bigger.
This is Everclear.
Okay.
Alcohol. Any high proof alcohol would work if you live in a state that does not carry Everclear. And we're using corn syrup.
Perfect.
So in our recipe for this concoction that we're going to be doing is a 1-to-1 ratio of corn syrup to alcohol. And I'm not making very a lot because it's not like a super huge cookie.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to be filling up my well about halfway. And I do like to paint, when I'm painting the cookie, I start from the inside and work my way out. So that way, if I'm trying, if I did all this work here and then tried to put black here and then drop black in my blue, I'll be very sad.
Gotcha. And Phyllis says, oh, my Lanta, you did that so fast.
It's cookie magic.
And Shelly's asking if anyone else has lost sound on the live. I haven't, and I'm showing full strength on the 10G, and I'm showing full strength from Sam here. So I mean from Sue. So I think we're okay. And that brings me to my next question I had ready to ask you.
Okay.
Did you see what Sam did the other night?
I was in and out of watching hers, and I absolutely loved it that she was doing like the Franken cookies and stuff. That was
Did you see the face on that jack-o'-lantern where she put the wafer paper behind it? The mouth?
I did not see that. I need to watch.
You have to go back and look. I know you guys are buddies, so you absolutely have to go back and look.
Okay. Now I'm using a toothpick to color this because I don't want to oversaturate it, and a little bit goes a long way with your gel colors. Okay. Any gel color will really work. Mirror color, satin ice, it doesn't matter. Hobby Lobby colors. And then I'm gonna come back in with my Everclear and fill up the rest of the halfway. And if you watch, let's see, I wonder if I can zoom in more.
So, oh, perfect. Okay, good. You got, so Shelly, Maggie was telling you to check your Bluetooth, and Shelly said thank you. So maybe that's what was wrong. And you barely put any in there.
Yep. So, I mean, it's just a small little well, but if you see that it's not really combined, so you got to work it a little bit until it's completely all the way mixed. I have tried this with glucose syrup.
Okay. And
the glucose syrup is much thicker than corn syrup, and it really dislikes the alcohol, and it takes forever for it to combine until it feels happy again.
Okay, now Christina is just clarifying. So it's 1 part Everclear, 1 part corn syrup, and then the tiniest bit of color with the toothpick, right?
Right. So you can always add more if you need it darker.
Okay. Because to thin it out, you would have to add equal parts of Everclear and corn syrup. You can't just add Everclear to thin it like you would when you paint.
You could, but it would run. And then it wouldn't set up straight. Because if you see on this cookie, it still looks wet.
Yes.
You can touch it and it's very smooth.
Oh, it's so pretty. And Debbie is saying, so you mix the color in corn syrup first before adding the Everclear?
Yes. I mean, you can either, there's really not a right or wrong way to do that. I mean, so if you wanted to do your corn syrup color and Everclear all together at once, you could, or just mix it and then add your Everclear.
Okay. Now someone's going to ask, you showed the brushes, but does it have to be a particular brand of brush? Is there a type that works better, a tip?
The pointed tips do work better.
Okay.
These I got, I don't remember if I got them off. I think I got them off of Shein.
Okay.
And I was very pleasantly surprised in how well these brushes were and how pretty they were and how well they worked. And I'm like,
all right. And is it normal cleanup just with warm soapy water?
Yep. You can just, I keep a little bucket of water right next to me. I just rinse them off in between with the water and dry it off really good with a paper towel. And for the smaller sections, I like to use the smaller brushes, like a number 5, number 4. Bigger sections, a 7, 9, or an 8. I think right now I'm using a number 6. No, we're gonna.
So much fun. Wait till if you guys haven't seen this before, this next part, you need to just stay tuned. Just keep watching because this first part is just amazing what it does.
Now, I'm not gonna be paint. It's not like painting. You're not coming in there and like pushing it around like paintbrush.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna scoop up just a little bit. So what I have on there is like a little dollop.
Yes.
And you're gonna come right to the section that you want, and you're gonna plop it down and push it around.
Okay.
So we're picking it up just a little bit. And then we're going to push it around to the edges.
All right. Now, Maggie has a question.
Mm-hmm.
She's asking if you can pre-mix a larger portion of equal parts Everclear and corn syrup and store that without the coloring. I can answer part of that.
And I have been wondering about pre-mixing and pre-making colors and keeping them in like little bottles.
Well, I'm just going to caution you to test it because something happens. That Everclear. Oh, can you come a little bit more into frame before they ask? There you go. That Everclear is like rot gut. So you really should test it. Let me just say that. That's a mad scientist night to see what it does.
Am I still in frame?
Yep, you're in frame right there. You're perfect.
All right. I do have one bottle because I got sent some glucose syrup, and that stuff is really, really thick.
Yes.
And for me to fill up bottles of glucose syrup as opposed to corn syrup that's kind of a little bit more flowy, was a lot better than that. But I did mix it up with some of the alcohol and left it in the bottle. And let's see, Cookie Con was what? Back in September, and it's still kind of flowy. So, being kept in an airtight bottle, maybe it just will do the trick. That if she took her stuff and mixed it together and kept it in a bottle like this, that it would probably stay for a while.
Yeah. So try it though, because it may be when Allison and I were driving to Cookie Con, we stopped in South Carolina where you could get the high proof. The 190 or 191, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So when I came back from Cookie Con, I did mix up some corn syrup and that high test Everclear. And it was still there. It separated, but it's like it ate some of the corn syrup. Like it was still flowy, but it didn't go on the cookie the same way.
I'll have to test what I have then.
It's like it ate it. So that stuff scares me. Like after that, I was kind of like, okay. And I also left some brushes in the Everclear overnight.
Yeah.
Those were not in great condition the next morning. And I was like, okay, so 190 is the serious stuff.
It is serious stuff. And I never even looked at the proof of mine. Let's see what the proof of it is.
Well, we can't get the 190 or 191 in Virginia without a $500 license. And we have to say what we're using it for. So we just grab it when we're out of state. So I'm sure we looked a mess because we both grabbed a gallon.
Well, I know before I left to go to Cookie Con, I grabbed the 2 gallons that they have left at the liquor store, and the guy like gave me a really funny look, like, "What are you doing with all that?" And I'm like,
"Yeah, what are you doing with this? That's some serious stuff there." And I'm like, "It's okay. I don't drink. This is not for that. This is for painting." They thought that was quite funny.
So what this is going to do as it dries, the gel will go towards the sides, and then in the middle will become a little bit more clear, and then around the sides will stay more opaque.
Okay. So basically you put it on, you started like in an area and then just kind of dabbed it over to the edge. That's, you just moved it around.
Yeah. All you're doing, you're plopping it on you, and you're pushing the mixture towards the edges. So, and you do want to be careful not to overfill the little wells that you have here, because it will go over the icing and decide it wants to have a party in the next color over.
Okay. Hey, Sam, will you be okay by yourself for just a second? Okay, just keep talking so they know we didn't lose sound. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right. So what we're going to do now is make my next color. I'm doing the orange. Just a little bit. And I'm a little bit darker, so I'm going to grab a little bit more. Oops. There we go. And your hands will get very sticky in doing this. So just be wary that you have a wet paper towel for your hands and another one for your paint brushes as you clean them. And you can always go with these colors, and if you want to add more color to it after it's mixed, you can do that. I do like to take my colors and mix them. So once I do this orange, I'll probably use a little bit more of this into a new well to make another color of a lighter orange with a little bit of yellow mixed into it. So I'm scooping it. I'm going to take my section and put that down. And just try to be really careful with the smaller sections to not overfill. And you can see if you don't mix up your gel in your the corn syrup and the Everclear with the gel color properly, if you can see right here.
Scoot to the right just a smidge. Thank you.
So there's a little spot right here where it's trying to separate, and that's where the alcohol is a little bit, it's too much and it's evaporating quicker than the gel color can come in to take hold.
Allison said she seconds the sticky hand comment. I don't know what that's about. I missed it. And don't be afraid.
When you're painting with this, it gets really sticky really fast. Okay.
Mimi says, so cool. How long does it take to dry? Overnight?
You want to let this dry overnight. If you have a fan, you can put it place in the fan. Humidity is definitely not your friend when it comes to this type of cookie.
Okay.
And painting, because it will take forever. And if you have the PME, I think the clear spray.
Yes.
Then spray your cookie with that, and it will set it.
Okay. What about dehydrator or tabletop fan?
Both work great.
Okay.
You can do a tabletop fan, or you can do a dehydrator, lowest setting for like maybe a couple hours, maybe an hour.
Okay.
I wouldn't do more than that.
Just so the cookie doesn't dry out, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so pretty.
But I also wanted to show you just as far as like, because this is the pumpkin, I can't speak. The pumpkin is clear. There's not a whole lot. I don't have any embossing on the part of the pumpkin. So I wanted to be able to show you the difference between having a very smooth cookie as opposed to having a texture underneath it.
Okay. This looks incredibly peaceful. Like
it is
very relaxing.
It's very relaxing, very peaceful. And I think that was one of the comments that I got in my class was how relaxing it was, because we kind of we painted. It was kind of like Bob Ross.
Yeah, it feels like that, doesn't it? Oh, Mimi has a great question. Can you mix glitter into the colors before you paint, and would it show up?
Yes, you can.
Oh, love it. Mimi, great idea, because you know we want the glitter. And then Jen Mosier says all painting is relaxing. I believe that. I believe that. It just is, you just get in the zone. Debbie said this could be fun class for kids. Just let them do the painting part, like have it prepped and ready. Have you ever done that?
I have not. It would be fun. It would be a lot messy, but you know what? It's all about having fun.
Mm-hmm. Could you set that? You could set this up like a paint by number. Couldn't you?
Mm-hmm. So definitely, and once I'm done here, I can put a color code together. So that way you guys have a color code for the template that I sent.
Mm. Hey, Priscilla, thanks for tuning in. It's good to see you tonight. This is so pretty.
So I'm starting with a little bit of yellow here.
Oh, got to go up a little. There we go. Keep rotating. I think you're zoomed really, really far in. And so right now, just so you know, for frame of reference, we're only seeing the yellow and the orange. There we go. Oh, that's way better.
Okay.
Is that better for you guys?
All right. So what I'm going to do here, I have not cleaned my brush. I'm going to take some of this orange.
Okay.
And I'm going to put it in here and mix this and make myself a no color.
Okay. And it looks like your colors are thickening up so that Everclear is evaporating, right?
It is. So if you find that your colors are not, if they're starting to dry up, you can add just a little bit of Everclear to thin it back out.
Okay.
So if you like walk away from this and then your color has dried out and it's got like a sticky film on top, just add a little bit of Everclear and stir it right back up.
Okay. This is such a fun project. It's so pretty when you're done too. Oh, I wanted to ask you as well. Have you been on any of the Food Network shows?
I have not. I came really close.
Okay.
I made it all the way to the final round of for the Christmas one.
Okay.
And I think that was the one that Sam was on. And
okay.
I never got called back. So
we have to apply again because this would be great for you to do as a showstopper on one of those. And last night's episode on the Halloween cookie challenge was stained glass, only they had to use isomalt.
Oh.
We should send this video to Rosanna Pisano. Is that how you say her name? The Num Num? We should send this video to her and say, look, other stained glass options. The whole
episode. This would be so time consuming. This would take the whole episode.
No, you could do it. I feel totally confident that you could plan something that you could do in larger sections. I have faith in you.
I don't know. After hearing stories about it and then seeing the show, I think I would just crumble under the pressure.
You do really? I don't think you would. I think you'd get in the zone and just go. Because you've taught at CookieCon. You've taught an elective with a full class at CookieCon.
It's a different vibe, different
feeling. You can do it in 45 minutes and get that classroom changed over and everybody comes in happy and leaves happy. Like, you're killing it. That's all I got to say about that. Oh, yeah. Shelly wants to know if, she says, so the colors don't pick up the black if you touch it. Why do you think that is? I would think the black would steep. I think she means seep, but it says deep into the orange colors, but I think she means seep. Yes, she said seep.
If the icing's dry. So if this icing was not dry and I was painting, then it would start eating the icing.
Gotcha.
And then it would bleed into the
Oh, and by the way, Christine is all for you going for it again because she says it can't be more pressure than 3 boys.
That's true. That's true.
Oh, I just love that. And you're just using the toothpick to drag it down into the very tippy corners, right?
Yep. So you can use the toothpicks. That's that part. So it can be a little time consuming and you can get very, very carried away.
That is so amazing to me because Jessie Ann Riley has accurately pointed out that, hold on, I'm trying to get her comment to come up, that she loves it. It looks like isomalt. It absolutely does.
It'll dry like that, which is, I think is really, really cool. But I think I'm going to leave that part for last, but I want to do the top blue part so that way we get the effects of the embossing.
Okay, perfect. And then Phyllis says she loves how this looks. Charlotte Jones is saying this is so pretty. Patricia says that looks beautiful. Shelly is just confirming this is going to dry hard and very neat. Yes, it will.
Yep.
And Jessie Ann said she does something like this with isomalt. And then our Facebook user, is that Angie? It's not Angie because Angie's name started showing up, but is saying, I'm excited to try this technique. Someone else is saying so many possibilities. Debbie is saying, how long does it take to dry so you can bag it? And I think you said overnight, right?
You do want to do overnight, and you definitely, I have not tried bagging one of these cookies, so I would definitely err on the side of caution.
Okay.
Depending, you know, what the weather's doing. So you don't want to bag it when it's rainy or humid because it'll stick right to the bag.
Okay, and Shayna is saying she loves the shine on it. Nancy says she's mesmerized. And Angie says this recipe is the hack for popping color paints. It's really amazing. It's quite beautiful.
This is the recipe for poppy color paints?
No, she said popping, like it pops.
Oh.
Popping color paints. And then Trisha says the colors look so pretty. Oh, this part, I wanted to see this, to see how it's done. This is so neat. Also, Patricia's asking, can you do this technique on a smart sheet? Do you want me to answer that?
Yes.
Okay, you should test it, guys. But on an embossed smart sheet, when I did it, I was using dark colors, and I tried that because I thought if I flipped it that I could do it because the grooves would be down instead of up after using embossing plates. But the color soaks into that sugar sheet and spread on me, so it doesn't have the same blockage as doing that black outline popping line directly on top of Royal. And so you test it. That's what happened to me. And I only did it once because I got really aggravated after all that work. But I did try it because I was interested to see what would happen. But you know how when color hits wafer paper and it kind of goes out like watercolor? That is what happened for me on that. And then Jessie Ann is saying, if you spray it with PME spray, won't that seal it for bagging? It would, but you don't really need to.
It would, even with the PME, even with humidity, it'll still make it tacky.
Yeah, because if you're trying to seal on top of something that's tacky, it's going to stay tacky, right?
It'll dry enough that you can actually touch it until it's full, like smooth and shiny once you spray it. But I did find that even after spraying it to the point that we can actually, you know, touch the cookie, especially in Florida, how humid it was.
Oh, it was a mess.
It went right back to a tacky state if left out.
Okay, and Mary said pretty blue color. And then Maxine says, so pretty. How does one even come up with these amazing techniques? That is what is so incredible, the creativity of these people. You are right. And then Christina's saying for V-Day, this would be amazing. Angie is in Hawaii and she's saying she can't wait to try this technique. And then Christina is asking cornstarch on cookie before you bag it, but you don't want to do that, do you?
No, I would not.
Because it'll dull it.
It would very much dull it. And I don't know what the cornstarch, how it would react with the corn syrup.
Okay, so let's talk brass tacks real quick because you cookie for profit. Do you primarily offer this on just bigger cookies, or do you find yourself doing it on smaller cookies? And if you do it on smaller cookies, does this become your feature cookie?
I do this for bigger cookies. I like to put this as a centerpiece for cookies.
Okay.
And I have taught this for like in the Easter class because it's a really cool technique to do for Easter cookies.
Well, that solves part of the problem though, because if you work backwards from whatever box that you might want to put this in, then that solves part of your packaging issue right there.
Yeah.
Because then you can seal the whole box instead of just sealing the cookie. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So for anybody that's worried about that or in a high humidity area, that might help you out a little bit if you go the other direction. Because they make some very, very pretty fall square boxes with clear tops.
They certainly do.
And Shelly's asking if you have to worry about air bubbles with this. That's a great question.
Yeah, you do, but if you're putting it around, I don't really see a whole lot of air bubbles with this. I think the biggest thing is making sure that your gel color with your alcohol and the corn syrup is fully mixed. Because like I was showing you with the pumpkin here, that if you have like even here in this little spot with the alcohol, if you have too much of a ratio of alcohol to the gel color with the corn syrup, what'll happen when you put it down is that you have that big like dollop of alcohol, and it quickly evaporates, and it's pushing all that gel color away. So then you're left with these like empty spots.
Okay. And then Angie's asking, she's saying, oh my goodness, I wonder if you do not mix the color as well, if you'll get a tie-dye effect. You get a splotchy effect, but does it look tie-dye?
It would definitely be like I don't know if it'd be that tie-dyed, but you would definitely get like that effect of kind of like the color smear where you have like I guess it would be kind of like a tie-dye effect where it's just like not fully combined.
Okay, gotcha.
But you can add color to a color. Like say if I had this little section here that I'm filling in and I wanted to go back with a lighter color on top, you can do that. And what will happen is kind of like when two colors meet in water and they kind of swirl around each other.
Yes.
You'll get that kind of a technique.
Okay. And then I did also want to ask you, does it just make it opaque if you add white food gel into whatever color? Like it kind of ruins the stained glass look part of it, right? Because you want it to look as translucent as possible. Did I say that right?
See, I'm getting some bleed right there.
Okay.
I don't know if you can see that.
Is the orange coming under, or is the turquoise going?
The blue is spilled over my little dam.
Over or under?
I think it's spilled over.
Okay.
So
is that a fixable thing?
It is a fixable thing. So you
look at her go. Oh yeah.
And scoop that out.
Okay. Oh yeah, now it doesn't even look like it's been there.
Oh no, now I got orange in my blue.
You got chocolate in my peanut butter. Kelly would like to know, would it be okay to place one of these in a heat shrinkable packaging? Just wondering if the heat gun will affect the gel colors.
I have not tried that.
That's a good experiment, Kelly. I think you should do that and report back. Oh, and also Jessie Ann is asking about mixing in dry colors. If it would dry,
that would be definitely something for
a Mad Scientist night.
Yeah.
Like would it, she's asking specifically if you use like powder colors to color with your Everclear, will it, so it sets up, would it dry drier? Like I guess harder. You
mean without the corn syrup?
Or well, with you have to have the corn syrup, right? I think she's just asking about taking the gel out and using a powder. She's going to try it with dry colors, but I'm assuming she's still going to be, Jessie, you're still going to be using the corn syrup, right? Because you want that look.
Yeah, I think you would need to have the corn syrup because you wouldn't get the glass effects without the corn syrup.
Okay, and Kelly's volunteering. She's volunteering to try that heat shrink and report back.
I would be curious to see what it does.
Okay, I'm so excited to see this start to settle into those spider webs.
It's starting to here.
Yeah, I can see it. And you know what? It gave me an idea when I saw that. I mean, you'd have to do a different impression or embossing than the different parchment than the spider webs. But what it looked like was the bottom of a swimming pool or the bottom of the Caribbean.
Ooh, you could do that.
It looked like water. So I think there could be something there for you for this summer.
I know there is a gal that I had in one of my class, and she was an underwater photographer, and she showed me some pictures that she did, and I'm still working on the octopus that she had wanted me to turn into a template like this.
So pretty.
So you can see that it's settling in there.
Oh yeah, you might want to zoom in, but you totally can tell. You can see it even on this level of zoom. Now that bottle is straight corn syrup, and then you're adding Everclear as needed?
Yep, and just adding color as needed, and then putting the Everclear in as well.
Okay. And again, in case you joined us late, the order with which you add does not matter. You're just using a 1-to-1 ratio of Everclear and corn syrup, and then you're using a toothpick to add the smallest amount of gel color.
What is it, love?
This is actually a really pretty technique. Like, I thought the cookie was still wet.
Can you hear my son?
I can. He thought it was still wet.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to say welcome to Nick, Nicole, Sheila, Vicky, Ingrid. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Tell us over in the comments where you're watching from. Lucille, it's good to have you with us tonight too. We appreciate you guys tuning in. And Juddy would like to know if you, I hope I said your name right. Is it Juddy, or it is Juddy, right? It's Juttie. She wants to know if you can use vodka instead of the Everclear.
You can, as long as it's a high proof vodka. You want to, the higher the proof, the better. Because what's happening with the alcohol in this corn syrup as it evaporates is making the corn syrup harden up.
Okay, and it is Juddy. She confirmed for me. I don't like pronouncing people's names wrong. I always try to remember what they actually are. Hey, Trisha, we're so glad you made it. Hey, thank you. I am really enjoying this, and I am enjoying hosting the event, and I'm looking forward to Christmas, you guys. Don't forget, mark your calendars now if you're enjoying this technique, that Sue will be back with us on December 8th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hey, Chelsea Rose is here from Japan, so we're like totally international tonight. Isn't that fun?
That is fun.
We've got lots of people on watching. This is, you guys, seriously, you have to try this. It's so much fun.
I have a poll that I'd like to ask if people would be more interested in a snowman or an ornament.
For Christmas, your holiday one? Okay, guys, can you let us know over in the comments? Well, let me do this real quick and then you can start. Dry colors go well with Everclear, so it should go well with the corn syrup. High Everclear will help it dry. I think the answer to all of that is yes. And Sue would like to know if you would prefer to have a snowman or an ornament for your stained glass piece. Oh, look, here come the answers. Ornament so far. And then Myra just joined us and said that she used to do, oh, the comments are going so fast now. Hold on. Myra said she loved it. I used to do regular stained glass, and so happy to learn this technique. All right, so ornament. And then Jennifer said a snowman because it will resemble a snow globe. Great point, Jennifer. All right, hold on. And then Ginny said ornament. Maxine says snowman. Mimi says, I love this, so talented. A snowman holding an ornament. Oh my gosh, Mimi, that's fantastic. Shayna says an ornament. You're getting outside that box and swimming in deep waters, girl. Then Trisha said an ornament would be cool because it would be more colorful. Angie says an ornament. Patricia says ornament. Like, I think the ornaments are winning. So I could solve this problem for everyone. You could do an ornament for Christmas and come back in January with the snowman.
That we could do that.
You have enough time to do that?
Yeah.
All right.
January is like the slow months, right?
Yeah, like we can
in January.
Okay, but listen, when you come back the next time, I'm going to need some advance notice because I think we should do this side by side because I've only done this one time. So I think it might be funny for people to watch me doing it next to the expert. I think they might consider that a true blooper reel.
Well, I don't know about an expert.
Oh yes, these are art. They're art. You definitely have got this technique down. Does anybody else do this, by the way, or is this something you just played with and came up with? Like, how was this born? Oh, and they're saying vintage ornament. That's kind of a cool idea.
That is a cool idea. How did I come up with this? I know I was looking, I wanted to do this technique and I was looking and nowhere. So it's like, I could not find anywhere that anybody was teaching this. And I started, I think I found one thing on Pinterest, one thing.
Oh, this is awesome.
So, and I ran with that, with what I found on Pinterest and kind of just started
I love
Made
it.
a little thing.
I love seeing how it's settling into the spider webs. Now, we did have a question. They're asking if, do you ever shake the cookie to help it settle? But you don't need to, right? Because the corn syrup, the weight of the corn syrup draws it where it needs to go, right?
Yes. So it's like the alcohol is pushing the corn syrup in the color to the edges. And that's where you're getting like here where it's smooth. You see where it's darker around the edges and it's a little bit more see-through towards the center. You see it more with the blue than you can with the yellow or the orange and the yellows here.
Okay. Okay, and then
and
they are
here with
they
the,
are
the
saying, tell me about that orange that I see. Is that spilling over or under? Yeah,
this right here.
No, over in the blue, it looks like there's a little dot of orange in the corner. Is that orange?
This is orange, and that was me scooping this out, and I spilled it into my blue.
Okay, I got you. I have a pair of tweezers that has a little shovel-looking thing on the end. That's probably what I need to send you, and then that would solve that problem because it would act like a shield. And Trisha says that would be cool for us to do the snowman together. Barbie says yes, a side-by-side. Camille says it would be good practice for me. And I think it would be funny more than practice, but we'll see what we can do about that. Chelsea is saying she loves seeing this technique. She's happy to watch and see this push. Jessie Ann says beautiful. Facebook user says this is so cool looking. And Angie has to leave us because she's got to go to clinicals. I'm sorry, but you can catch the replay. It's so pretty.
How are we on time? Did we go?
Well, we're right at an hour, but you can do what you need to do because if they have to go, they can come back, and we're giving them the replay for free. So, I mean, we've got at least until 8:30. If we can wrap it up in 10, that would be awesome.
I think we can do that.
Okay, and
this last bit here of green and just a little bit of brown, and then that should complete the cookie.
Okay, and Mimi's saying she attended a liquid glass wood project workshop the other night, and this finish is identical. She said, amazing, and you can eat this project. Kathy says she loves the technique. Nicole says, thanks so much for sharing this technique. Charlotte says she wants to try it. Kelly said, this is so cool looking. Phyllis says she's stoked. Thank you, Sue. Diane says, so amazing. Just want to know if there's an alternative to the Everclear. Now, she did mention you could use vodka. So if we're asking if there's an alternative to alcohol at all, is there?
You just want to make sure that the alcohol is a high proof alcohol.
Okay, but we have to, it works with the alcohol because that's what's moving the color and stuff around, right?
Right.
Okay. Holly says, just beautiful. Holly's in Texas. Good to see you, Holly. And Holly, watch your messages tomorrow because I need to ask you a question about something. I need your help with something for the group if you have time. Debbie says she wants to do this when she comes to visit me again. Jessie says, thanks for the demo. And Shelly says, too pretty to eat. But you know what? I used to tell people this in the store all the time when they would say the cupcakes were too pretty or the cake was too pretty. I would say, you have to eat it so I can make more. I have to stay in business. This is livelihood. So just go ahead and eat it. I'll make you another one and I'll probably make it even better the second time.
You have to eat it. I spent all this time. You have to eat it.
That's right.
I'd be offended if I spent all this time on it. And
hey, Sue, you know what we didn't talk about that I wanted to ask you?
What's that?
How many times have you won any placement at CookieCon? Because I know you've won at CookieCon before.
I took third place for my fall lady that I did in Florida.
Okay.
It was, I think, it was after COVID, I think.
Okay,
then,
like the first Orlando one, right? After COVID?
The first Orlando. I took third place for her. And then the second Orlando visit that we just did, I took third place again I did the Giving Tree.
Okay.
And that one won third place and it won popular vote.
So you've got 3 awards so far, right?
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what I need to do to get number 1. So
hey, first place is headed your way. And by the way, that's not the question, ladies. So don't write that number down. Just letting you know that's not what the answer is. Okay, Nicole would like to know, please. if after it's dried, can you paint on top of this? For example, if you wanted to paint yellow stars on the blue part, does it dry enough that you can paint on it?
Like with like gel paint?
With gel paint or with the metallic? What are we talking, Nicole? She just wants to paint yellow stars. So can you paint on top of the paint once the paint is dry, I think is what she's asking. Tasha says, thank you, love this, but let's let her clarify, then I'll tell you for sure, okay?
I would say yes, that once it's dried, if you wanted to go back with like a gel paint or I don't know, poppy paint or something, and you wanted to put stars in here, you could do that. You could even, you can do either version and do star sprinkles if you wanted to on this.
And Trisha's bringing up a point that she would I would think that would turn green, yellow over blue. So now we have to mad scientist because it might leach the color, but I bet if you spray it with PME or painted your little star area with PME and then painted your yellow, you'd be fine. But you'd have to let me tell you about this PME. I'm just giving a big old disclaimer right here because the product is fantastic. But if you are new to cookies and you've never used it, do not use it in an area that you don't want it to live forever. I made myself a box. I take it outside. I put my piece in the box and I spray in the box because it is hardcore candy shellac. It's very hard to get it off. So here's the other thing. If you think that glitter wouldn't dissolve, why couldn't you just put, if you wanted like a starry sky, why couldn't you use little bits of the 24 karat gold sheeting or of the gold metallics and just kind of sprinkle it in while it's wet?
You probably could.
There's another idea for you guys. Who wants to test that? Because we can't do all the mad scientist testing. And April says this is magical. It really is. Can you guys now see on the right-hand side? I want you to take note. Do you see how it's settling around the embossed part that she did with parchment sheets to create that spider web? Do you see it now, how it's like settling as it dries?
At my peaks, I have two high peaks right here because it's coming down off of it.
So cool. Chelsea said, or make sure you use white powder mixed with the yellow before you do the painting. Yep, I bet that would work too because it's like a blocker. PME is made with sap from a tree. No wonder it sticks to everything for your whole life. And Jessica said it took steel wool to get it off her stainless table. Oh, yeah, you know, you got to warn people. And the other thing you have to warn people is if you're going to paint with a confectioner's glaze, you do not clean that with water. You will ruin your brushes. It's very hard to come back from those seized up brushes. And everyone is saying, good question, Kelly. This is so pretty. I love the little design at the bottom too.
I'm going to finish it up with some brown, and I think that will finish this cookie.
Okay. Was there anything else we want to tell them about the cookie? Like any other pro tips you might want to give out, or maybe like, you know, things that, oh, and could you go ahead and zoom real close in so they can see that spider web, please? Juddy's asking, if you don't mind. Yeah, there you go. Can you see it, you guys?
Oh, it's like an underwater spider web. And I think as it settles, the spider web itself will, I think, start coming out more. This, like right here where it's still opaque, my cat was like that. And after drying.
Yeah, look at that. That's insane.
The whole spider web.
Look at that.
I think that's really
gorgeous cookie. Juddy is saying nice, thank you. Nancy says beautiful. Charlotte says wow. Patricia says amazing. This has been such a fun tutorial, guys. Now she'll see your comments when the video ends. I'm going to give you the next 15 seconds to type in your thank yous, but do not go anywhere because we're going to do the special question as soon as Sue is ready.
You just got to put this brown down and we're done.
Okay. They say it's beautiful. Hey, Cindy, how are you tonight? Patricia said it looks like glass. Shelley says fantastic. All of it. So fun. Thank you. Thank you so much. Fun. Juddy says thanks. Everyone is just loving this. So you'll have to go. I'm going to quickly, because they're going fast. I'm going to try to flip up all the comments as they're rolling up, but they're going so fast, I'm going to miss some. So please go back and just read all the great thank yous and the accolades at the end here that everyone is sending you. We're so happy that you were here tonight with us.
It's my pleasure to show you guys this. I'm so happy that I was able to come in here and join you, and that I got to teach you guys.
And Debbie would like to know if you would mind posting a photo of this after it dries tomorrow so she can see the spider web better. And Allison said this was a great refresher to the amazing class I took with you at CookieCon.
Aw, thanks.
Everybody's loving this. This was a great demo. And this is really, what a fun technique. Like, guys, just so you know, like, I'm looking at this and I'm seeing a lot of really cool summer projects. I'm seeing a lot of cool fall projects. Like, what if you found the perfect leaf and did this? And had a textured background from folding your paper a certain way, and then did this on top of that, and your outline being like a maple leaf because they're so wide and deep, you know what I mean, tall. That would be beautiful. And Christmas, if you wanted to create a garland, this would be gorgeous. If you wanted to do garland cookies with this, with holly leaves. And then Valentine's Day. Oh my gosh, I'm not even going to tell you what I'm thinking about for Valentine's Day.
I picture a gnome with a heart.
That would be very good. That's not what I was thinking, but that would be really good.
Okay.
All right. Look at that. It's just gorgeous. That I just love all of the color variations too. It's beautiful. So I already dropped the template in. You're going to go back and number the template and then drop it in.
Yes, I'll do the template, and then I'll do one better. I will go back into the picture itself.
Okay.
So I'll have the template, and then I'll create another template with the numbers and the colors to go with the numbers underneath, like a key code.
And then Trisha said she may have missed it, but how much would you charge for something like this? It's a 6-inch cookie all the time, special packaging when you sell these. And then Trisha says, or would this just be for a competition type thing?
No, it doesn't have to be for a competition type thing. So if you definitely wanted to take this cookie and sell it, you could, and I would definitely charge your time, because it is a time-consuming type of cookie. One for, like, design, and then the colors, and then the technique itself, because you do want to take your time with it. Because rushing, you can see you get bleeding.
So on a 6-inch cookie with this level of detail boxed, are we talking 20, 24, more?
I would be comfortable charging about the $20, $25 for this size cookie.
And that's in special packaging, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's a full-on, like, it's ready to go gift tag on it, little bow, and it's ready to go out the door.
Yep. So, but again, this, what I would charge and what you would charge would be completely different. So always charge your worth. So, and then depending on your clientele and your where you live, definitely.
Mimi says $1 million. All right. We're going to get on that $1 million cookie. Is there a cookie show that we can apply for Sue to get on, that she could win $1 million? We're going to get her on that show.
We just need to create our own show and call it the $1 Million Cookie.
That's right. That's right. That'd be so great. I keep telling them, I had some ladies at my house recently, and I told them, I'm prepping all of you to do our own Food Network special. That's what I'm prepping you for.
Oh, it would be fun.
Wouldn't it be neat to have just cookie snack attackers competing against each other in like 2-person teams?
That
oh my God, it'd be hilarious. Colleen, thank you for joining us.
Really, really, really fast. Did you want it this?
Oh yes, we got to do the giveaway, but can we see you before we do the giveaway? Can you come back?
Yeah, I'm going to come back in just a minute. I just wanted to see how this works. I wanted to pick up some of this white.
Okay. Well, let me go ahead and give everybody a few details. If you were here at the beginning, then Shelley says, great ideas, Amy. I have lots of them. I just can't do them all. So at the beginning, she mentioned something you're going to have to calculate.
Lesson.
It is going to be a number question, and it's going to be whoever guesses the closest without going over. She definitely said it at the beginning of the video. And do not type in a number until I say go or you're disqualified. Ha ha, I got you tonight. No one can go early. Last night, I hadn't even asked the question and people started dropping numbers. Oh, look how pretty that is.
That was that's straight alcohol going into the gel.
Okay. Look at that, you guys.
Ah.
That is pretty.
My son's lesson and the guy is trying to call.
Who's calling?
My son's got a guitar lesson and the guy's trying to call.
Oh, no.
I got a message him telling that I completely forgot. And
I gotcha. Well, you want to do the question and then we can hang up real quick?
Let me check. Can you guys see me? Hey,
I can see you.
I hope you guys like everything.
Sue, this was amazing. Totally amazing. I had the best time watching this and I can't wait to come up with a design and try it out. All right. Did you get a message back?
Yep, I messaged them.
All right. I'm going to watch.
Life.
I do want, yeah, Mom Life. I want to tell you that, again, as a reminder, when we do the drawings, I'm broadcasting to 4 places and it's shared to other multiple places. So those places feed back through. It all comes right here to StreamYard. I watch the feed and we get to the number. I'll tell you the first person and I'll flash their name up. Okay. So when we first started, and listen for the question before you start typing numbers, okay? Sam gave us the information to calculate the following question. How long has Sue, sorry, I keep thinking about you going and looking at that other pumpkin. I need to know you've looked at it because it's on my notes here. How long has Sue, and by the way, Sue and Sam are friends. How long has Sue been doing cookies? The closest guess without going over. How many years has Sue been doing cookies, creating cookies? I see answer. Oh, we got it. We got it already.
Already?
Oh, wait, yeah, wait, but stop, because I can't get the thing to flash up here. Hold on. Myra, winner, chicken dinner. Good for you. 10 years. That's amazing. That is the right answer, right?
Yep.
Is that right? Wait a minute. Wait, that's not the right answer.
Oh, no, that's when I started was in 2010.
Yes, so the right answer is 13, and the first person that had that was Nicole. So how about this? Myra, I will figure out a consolation prize for you. But winner, chicken dinner, Nicole. Woohoo! That was so great. It is 13 years. You had to do a little math. Yeah. So she started in 2010. It's 2013, so 13 years. How did you keep track of that, Nicole? And then, just so you know, a lot of people were paying attention. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There are 13 people that guessed 13, and they're still putting in comments now, but 13 people, boom, had the answer. And then several people typed in 2010. But the question was actually number of years. All right, so Myra, I do have a great consolation prize for you too. Nicole said she paid attention. So Nicole, you're going to contact Sue. You're going to contact Sue, and Sue will get your prize to you. And Myra, I have a consolation prize for you. I will take care of that, okay? Hey, thank you again. This was beautiful. Thank you again for coming and joining us. Anytime that you want to come in and do a new technique or go mad scientist or do a side-by-side, you just message me, let me know, and let's do it, okay?
Okay, that sounds fantastic. I would love to do that.
Time between now and Austin for them to not see their favorite CookieCon teachers. So you guys, anytime you want on here, just let me know.
I can't believe it's so far away. I want it to be like tomorrow.
I know. Listen, I could handle April, but it seems really far to have to go to September. All right. Everyone is saying thank you. Fabulous night. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So Sue,
Thank you
I
for
can't tell
watching.
you how much I appreciate you doing this for the group. And guys, we're going to sign off. Replays available. YouTube's the easiest place, or the video section on Seriously Sweet. And you guys have an awesome night. Bye.
Night.